everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 Lexus RX and its 12-speaker bass audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, and controls, and we're going to look at the speaker locations. Then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on this system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member below. I'm going to record a members-only sound test here, cruising on the highway and listening to tracks that members requested. So if you want to see that and get more on the system, check the link below. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Now, I know so many of you were really hoping for the review of the Mark Levinson. It's probably one of my most requested videos is the Mark Levinson on the Lexus RX. However, the 500H that we first had of the RX when it first came out, that was a pre-production unit, and the Mark Levinson system didn't sound right. I confirmed with Lexus it wasn't the final tuning. And then I asked for a production model RX, and they gave me this one, and it doesn't have the Mark Levinson system. But hopefully you can at least find some use in evaluating this one, and then make the decision for yourself, at least somewhat, if it's worth hopping up to the Mark Levinson. But we do have a ton of videos coming on this car. I'm going to record the fuel economy test, as well as a whole bunch of other videos. Like I said, the members test, the review. I'll throw the links to all those below. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. So let's take a look at those now. The big 14 point something or other inch infotainment screen. I always find it funny that they go down to the 10th place for screen sizes. It's like, just tell me if it's 14 or 15 inches. I really don't care, especially because it's all ambiguous because it's diagonal measurement anyway. But 14 something inches on this upgraded screen. The standard 10-inch screen looks much more square and a lot different than this. But new infotainment system here for Lexus, and it works very, very well. We're going to go over here to the settings icon and scroll down to sound and media. First, we're greeted with a levels screen here that's going to give you an optional auto sound levelizer. So as you get driving faster speeds, it's going to pick up different elements of the music and compensate for the speed and extra noise. We're going to leave that off for now. Then down at the bottom of this, you have a surround sound option on and off. I guess it's on right now. Let's toggle it off and on and see if we notice a difference. This is a very forward-focused system. You hear a lot of music coming from right in front of you, and the surround sound option circles it around you a little bit more, but it does make the music that much more artificial and not true to recording, so we're going to leave it off for this test mostly. I might turn it on a little bit later on. As this next song picks up here, we'll sample the treble, mid-range, and bass EQ, and you've also got a front, rear, left-right fader and balance that you can move around the cabin by dragging that circle, and then you can recenter it up there with that icon. And that's actually all you have for sound level adjustments. So like I said, now that this song's getting picked up, we'll go through treble, mid-range, and bass. Aggressive amount of adjustability there. I'm really surprised at the bandwidth that you have for adjusting that. And that's all you got for audio adjustments. For audio controls here in the RX, you've got a volume knob smack dead in the center here of the screen. No clicks, standard Lexus Toyota style, but it's easy enough to grab. It is a little far for me as a 5'10" person, but maybe if you had longer arms, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You also have physical volume controls on the left side of the wheel. For track selections, it gets a bit more murky. No physical controls up in the center here. I really don't think a lot of Lexus owners are going to appreciate that. I don't particularly appreciate it, especially because with this touch-sensitive steering wheel control, you kind of have to tap your finger onto the control before pressing it. You can't simply click and change track super easily. And then if you're the passenger, say you're in Apple or Android Auto here, and you got navigation going. If you want to change the track and you're the passenger, you got to go 1 click here, 2 clicks home, 3 clicks over to media, and then you can actually switch through your tracks. So whether it's radio stations or track controls, it's frustrating not having any sort of favorites or any quick controls right here in the middle. For audio inputs here in the RX, you have your standard. You just got to check in these new cars for that AM radio. Yep, AM, FM, support for HD radio, Sirius XM satellite radio built in there, a USB-A port. Whoops, that's the wrong one right there. Amazon Music built in, as well as Apple Music, and support for wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. What does that mean you're missing? Well, despite having 3 USB-C ports up here, those are all for power, no data transferring right there. So no USB-C ports, no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, no disc player, but like I said, at least you have a few of those high definition options in Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and some streaming services. Speaker locations. This one's a little bit murkier. Some of you may have trouble finding all of your speakers in your Lexus because they use a lot of what's called unity speakers, where you've got a tweeter and a main driver kind of built into one. We've got that going on here. So down here we've got a door woofer, 1, up there mid-range and tweeter, 2, 3, center, mid-range, 4, 5, 6, 7 over on the other side. Then you've got those unity speakers going on back here as well. 8, 9, 10, 11, and opening up the trunk, we've got a subwoofer greeting us back here, making 12. Now before we get this stuff put away, I want to point out one extra thing. Yes, we had that surround setting in the settings screen to kind of make the music feel a little bit more surround, but this system will not play actual 5.1 surround music. There's no support for that, and I'll demonstrate it using our USB stick here. Let's go back to our surround demonstration track. We'll listen to this. So in a true 5.1 system, this would be giving us actual surround in all the different channels. Instead, it's actually just down mixing down to 2 channels.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround. Right surround. LFE.
So that part right there, we should have been hearing the surrounds from only behind us, and then the LFE should have only been coming through the subwoofer, but we're not getting that. But I'm going to get this stuff put away. We're going to head out on the road. negative to say about the system until hearing this song. You guys noticed how in the stronger sections where there's a lot of instrumentation, the volume was kind of fading in and out. This must not be a very powerful system, but take a listen. There are elements of the song that actually sound better when it's turned down because the system can actually fully compensate for it. What I was going to point out is how excellent the system sounds because of the quietness of the car. It's not a fantastic system by any means from a power standpoint, like we just found out, or from a clarity standpoint or anything. But the fact that driving in it here at 70 miles per hour is so quiet inside the RX in general that allows a more mid-range sound system like this to sound better, because it's like equivalent to listening to it at lower speeds. That's why I like to test at 70 miles per hour here, because cars that are as insulated as this Lexus RX get rewarded for that. For this next track, we'll turn the bass all the way up, and oh gosh, we'll see what happens. Okay, that subwoofer's filling in nicely. Now we are getting a little bit of distortion from the rest of the music, but I'm getting some mirror shakeage, and I think it was a good move for Lexus to put a subwoofer in there like that. Wrapping up my thoughts on the bass 12-speaker system here in the Lexus RX. Yeah, it's no Mark Levinson, but I think they tuned this system, let me just say, they did tune this system exactly where it should be for a non-upgraded system. What I mean is, if you're someone buying a Lexus RX and you don't care at all about audio quality, I mean, you don't really listen to the music that much, maybe you turn on the radio or whatever, you don't need that extra cost, this is still going to be a fairly impressive system for you when you do listen to music. It's got fullness, it checks all the boxes, it's fine. Now, if you're an audiophile and you're expecting Mark Levinson quality, yeah, you're going to be disappointed by the system. But it's not an upgraded system, so it's not that big of a deal. So, all in, originally I was leaning toward maybe an A-, but listening to that track 5 there, the distortion is going to bring it down to a high B+. So it's good, it's solid, I like it, I've enjoyed listening to music, but It's not giving me the wow factor of an A system, and there it thinks I'm going to crash again. I will say, I have been testing it a lot, and I found that the ideal sound settings are treble up 1, mid-range down 1, and then depending on what sort of music you're listening to, either bass up 1 or bass in the middle. Sometimes bass up 1 is too strong. So if that helps at all, if you got this car, it does liven the system up a little bit in my eyes, but all things considered, I think this is right where this system should be for an entry-level Lexus RX system. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the RX, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.